Okay. Oh, good to make sure I know over here.
Yeah,
All right. We're in?
we're in.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. We are so glad you have joined us today. My name is Laura Hunter. I'm a TRT in Portsmouth.
And I'm Margie Tyner. I'm also a TRT in Portsmouth.
And we are inviting you to join us for Next Level PD. And we would love for you to learn a little bit more about Tech Voyage. So please feel free to bring up the presentation using the bit.ly address there. We would love for you to have that so that you can go to the different slides and view the different pieces of the presentation as we are presenting for you, because we want you to interact with some things and make sure that you have access to all of the tools. Here we have our treasure map. And we're going to go through all of these different portions of the presentation from the getting started here with Ahoy Mateys, and then we're going to talk about the points and the badges and the levels and all of those things. But first, let's talk about what is Tech Voyage. So Tech Voyage is a gamified professional development program. Now, I want you to just think whether you're a teacher or a coach or a leader or whatever your role is, do you ever work with people that are not totally thrilled and excited to do whatever it is that you're trying to get them to do? Whether that's you have to present a professional development, or you have to convince them to start using a new program, or in the classroom, you're trying to convince your students to get on board with a new activity or project. Well, we know how that feels. And so the TRTs in Portsmouth developed a program called Tech Voyage, and we started with 5 schools last year. And we kind of implemented it, piloted it out, and then everybody else left. They all left the division, but I continued it this year, and it is amazing the results that my school has had both last year and this year. So some of the specifics are participants earn points for various activities, then they level up, just like if you think about when you're playing Candy Crush, you play the games to level up. If you go to Chick-fil-A, yes, you might enjoy the food because it's delicious, but also you're looking for those rewards in your app so that you get free breakfast. And I was levels, and they're like, oh, you get 300 points. And I thought that goes totally in line with what we're doing in our presentation, and badges and prizes and all that. Let me take a few moments to play the video intro that I showed to my teachers. If you would like to use this, if you're going to implement this in your building, then you are welcome to use this as a sample or create your own. Have a listen.
Ahoy mateys, and welcome to Tech Voyage. What is Tech Voyage, you might ask? This year, some of your TRTs have gathered together to encourage more incorporation of technology in your class with a pirate theme. All opportunities to play are going to be posted in your Technology PD Schoology course, and you don't have to worry about keeping track of your points because your TRT is going to do that for you. Let's look at some of the details. With Tech Voyage, you're going to be earning different points based on the activities that you do. Game points are not the same as professional development points for recertification, although there may be some opportunities where you are awarded hours towards your recertification. Game points simply go towards the different levels within the game so that the more points you earn, the higher your level, and sometimes the better your prize. You can earn points in 6 different ways. The first of which is through quests. Quests will earn anywhere from 50 to 100 points, and these are going to be randomly assigned activities throughout the year. You've used some different product or another. You'll also earn 100 points when you attend the beginning of the school year, let's say your grade book refresher, things of that sort, things that your administrator with your TRT to plan a new and exciting lesson, or to get some individualized training on a program that we use, you'll earn 150 points. When you actually co-teach that lesson with your TRT, you will earn an additional 150 points. If you attend an optional professional development session offered by your TRT, you'll earn 300 points because you'll usually have about 30 minutes worth of instruction and then an activity to complete. Finally, the largest point value is 500 points, and that will be awarded when your students complete a fully immersed tech project. This is something that programs in order to bring it to fruition. As your TRT is tracking your points for you, you will begin to earn different levels. There are 5 levels in the Tech Voyage program. The first level is the Quartz level, and this will be awarded as soon as you have earned 100 points. The second level is the Sapphire level, which is awarded at 750 points. The third level is the Gold level, which is awarded at 1,500 points. The Diamond level is the 4th level, awarded at 2,500 points. And finally, the 5th level is the Platinum level, and that will be earned once you reach 4,000 points. Throughout the year, your TRT will also award badges for different activities such as stepping out of your technology comfort zone, participating in our Hour of Code, having an organized Schoology course, things of that sort. So you'll have badges also presented to you throughout the year. For recognition, we are going to have leaderboards posted in the building. These may be a treasure map or a posting of whoever is in the top 5. We will also have leaderboards posted online for you to view individually within your school, who's earning the most points for that quarter, and if other schools are competing against us, you'll be able to look at the online leaderboard and see where your school ranks in competition with the others. Outside of your classroom door will
So close that. Did it come back?
Yeah.
Okay. We're sorry about that. We see that there was some technical difficulty with the video. You have it in the presentation, and I hope it's not impacting our voices too much. I definitely know how annoying that is to be listening and all of a sudden it's like, and you're like, that is not me. So we're going to continue with the presentation, and let me get to the next screen. Here we go.
Okay, so hopefully you were able to see enough of the video, the intro video that we showed our teachers to get the gist of what we're doing. So basically it's a big gamified experience. So we're taking the professional development that we offer that's optional along with our district mandated professional development and trying to put the joy back in teaching. So one of the ways we did that was to assign point values. And since we have a pirate theme going, we call them doubloons. So every opportunity that was provided for teachers was worth a different amount because, as you know, some projects are much more involved than others. So throughout the course of the school year, as we saw needs in the building or people were making requests for certain tools or certain types of learning experiences, we would come up as a team with quests for them to do. It could be a pop-up PD opportunity where they met with one of us or came to something quick. It could be a brief video to watch, scavenger hunts, those kind of things. We also gave them points for going to required PD because oftentimes, as you know, those are not always the most enjoyable. So why not make it a little better? Those were things that we had to offer at the beginning of every year, like our gradebook refreshers, how to complete your attendance on a regular basis, those kind of things. If they completed something that we assigned them in PD, we gave them additional points for that. If they engaged with us in co-planning or individual trainings, that was worth points. Co-teaching with your TRT, attendance completion of TRT PDs, anything we could give them points for, we tried to incentivize and give them points for. And as you can see, as you gain points, you went up in levels. So just like in a video game, you level up because you're improving your teaching skills. Now, the great thing about this is you don't just get points and there's one winner overall. This program celebrates everybody making progress, whether you're growing by leaps and bounds or you're just taking baby steps. So we tried to meet all of our teachers where they were to fit their needs. Just like you would differentiate for students in a classroom, we differentiated for our adult learners as well. And you can see our different levels up here. We tracked the points that teachers earned through our LMS, which is Schoology, we're a Schoology division. And as the teachers earned the points for going to the things that they chose to go to, they would move up in levels, and then we would celebrate that. So just to give you an idea, okay, we're doing these things, we're moving up. What are we doing? What are we celebrating? So we would celebrate with the teachers. There we go. I saw our video pause. So we would celebrate with the teachers, and we actually had printed badges that would go around on their doors outside. So we would give them these different badges. And again, we went with a pirate theme. So everything was pirate themed. You might earn the Matey badge for co-teaching with the TRT, or the Voyager badge for trying something new. You could get the Scallywag badge if you stumped the TRT on something, or a Ship Shape if you were using your LMS according to district standards. So everything that we could think of to give teachers a reward for, we tried to boost their confidence and really show them that we're celebrating your learning journey with you.
So to enhance their participation, we created leaderboards. We have digital leaderboards as well as physical leaderboards in the building. And so you can see in the upper corner there, we used Keep the Score. And at the end of the presentation, we have links to the different websites that were used to develop these different tools. And so there were, I think you get up to 8 players free. So I just post my top 5. We actually had 2 of these when we had the different schools competing against one another. Then we used one for the schools, and then we actually embedded that into our LMS so that anybody that went online to our Tech PD course, where they would find their different professional development opportunities, they could access the leaderboard. They could see where their schools were. As I'm a West Haven Blue Jay, so there we are up at the top. And so I also have one that I continually update about once a week for my top 5 teachers. So I am celebrating those that are consistently leveling up and consistently moving forward, but I celebrate everyone who makes progress. And I think that's really important, especially if you were listening to the keynote speaker this morning. He was talking about the difference between collaboration and competition. And so, yes, this is meant as a competition, but it's where everybody that rises up, our school gets the trophy, and we are working together to increase everyone's capacity. It's a really beautiful relationship there. And you can see the physical leaderboard here. I just posted the different levels, and I had the teachers' last names. And so then as they leveled up, I would move their names around. So it was like, you know, the treasure map going to the different level islands there. When we talk about prizes, I offer a variety of different prizes. We have the individual ones. So we have this wheel here that at the end of every quarter, I come around, and any teacher that has leveled up. So for example, anybody who earned level 1 got to spin the wheel after the end of the first quarter. Anybody who has reached level 2 gets to spin the wheel for the second time. So once again, it's a celebration of everyone who makes progress, not just the top person. And there is a link here. There are links that will take you over to Picker Wheel that will show you how to create those that spinner. We have a treasure box where, you know, they spin the wheel and they pick a piece of candy. I do have a certificate for anybody who's in the top 5. We have a certificate and a little mini trophy, as you can see here, for the captain. So that's the one who has been the top points earner. And then we have the captain's badge that goes outside their door. So just for that quarter, and it resets at the beginning of the next quarter. So somebody else has an opportunity to be at the top. But as I said, everybody who makes progress is being rewarded throughout the process. So it does enhance the competition a little bit, because some people do want that top prize, but even those that are like, I don't have time to do all the different things, as long as they're still making progress forward, they're being rewarded, which is kind of cool. And then I post on Twitter about the different things that are happening, and some of the different prizes that I offer on the spinning wheel are like a little baggie of office supplies, or a dismissal pass where I go and I babysit their students and make sure they all, get on the bus or get dismissed safely, a bonus Jeans Day coupon, and a recess pass. And then the lunch money there is I do actually give them $5 cash. And so between my supervisor and the school budget with the office supplies, we were able to order those within the confines of the financial budget, because I know money is tight for all of us. I do personally fund the lunch money, but that's why it's only one section on the spinner wheel, so that it was, and dismissal pass, recess pass, and Jeans Day are nothing out of my pocket. It's just a prize that may require some time or an agreement with my administrator to have that happen. Real quick, the grand prize at the end of the year, I collected the names of everybody who had reached the level 5, so that very top level. I put them in a bucket and we drew out 3 of them. So there were 3 raffle prizes for the top 3, and I did give $25 to each of those just for their success, because it was a really school-wide, well-embedded competition.
Okay, so the big part of developing this program is figuring out what you're going to offer. So we've listed out some things here for you, as you can see, and Laura's going to go through some of those quickly with you.
Yeah, so we just, at the beginning of the year, we took a survey to say, welcome back. What are some things that you're interested in learning about? What are some of the things that you already know? Can you teach other people? So we do have a link to that survey posted here, as well as at the end of the presentation. Then when we talk about the quest, I think Margie mentioned already about the quest, and we would send people out. Sometimes we did PD on the potty, where we would post like a QR code in the bathroom for people to scan, because what else are you doing while you're in the restroom, right? For those few minutes that you get all by yourself. And so we would offer different point levels for that. We also work together. I know our team of TRTs collaborates really beautifully together, so that we're not recreating the wheel all the time, but, we'll share an Ozobot activity, or we'll share, like, a bunch of us got indie class sets of the Indie Spheros, and so we're sharing out those the pathways that we've created, and we're collaborating to make sure that we celebrate one another and we give credit to one another, but we're also able to utilize those things. And so, like, here was just an example of a Seesaw PD that I created, and there's a set of videos listed there that breaks down like how to log into Seesaw, things like that. And then we shared that with all the different schools, so that when we were working cooperatively, we wanted to make sure that the opportunities that we offered at one school were the same as at another school, in the idea of fairness. And then we'll explore different options. I think we might be going again, but as you can see here, this was a choice board that was made. Let's see. And this, Margie actually created this one, and it leads to all of the different links. This is linked to your presentation. So this is a PD that's already made for you. And so you can see here, she's got the instructions and the links for Blooket and Flippity and Pear Deck and Flashcard Factory. I mean, all sorts of things that are already right here for you. So if you wanted to use this for your first PD, or as any PD, you are welcome to use that. Let me get back over to the presentation. So those are just some ideas of the different things that you can use. And honestly, any PD that I go to now where I'm thinking, oh, I want to present that to the staff. I was in a presentation yesterday for Goose Chase, and I was like, this is perfect for a quest. You know, I was learning something new, and I'm going to send my teachers out because then they're going to get prizes. And they get so excited when a new opportunity comes up because they want to be involved. They want the prizes. So it's really worked well.
So for marketing, for getting this idea out to your staff, what can you do? So obviously we explained the competition to everyone through that video, which we shared a bit with you. We had the bulletin boards and the online leaderboards on our LMS that we all share, but we also really relied on word of mouth. You know, teachers talking to other teachers is really one of the best ways I've found, maybe you have too, to get yourself into that classroom. We put out newsletters, emails, we've got the stuff displayed outside their classroom doors, strategically placed PD implemented in our building. We tried to give you all of the things that we have already created, so please feel free to use, modify, whatever you'd like to do with them. And then how did we get this out to teachers? Well, as I mentioned earlier, we are a Schoology district, so we do a lot of our PD housing of materials through our Schoology courses so that we can model for our teachers, how do you use this with students? So we would assign the quest just like a teacher would assign an assignment to students, except the students in our case were our staff members. We would use that to track their points and their completion. We would talk to one another at different buildings. So for example, if Laura was offering a PD on something at her building, I wanted to make sure my staff had the opportunity to give that too, and vice versa. If you're doing it within your own school, it's not quite as hard because there's not as many moving pieces, but you also might be missing out on some good opportunities that you may not have thought of otherwise if you were collaborating.
Yeah.
The leaderboards between the schools was another fun way. Again, just some friendly, healthy competition to kind of poke fun, like, oh, we're on your heels. You're only 1,000 points behind us. We're catching you by tomorrow, and that kind of thing. And that really inspired a lot of our teachers because we have a very competitive staff.
We do. Yeah, but it was all in good fun.
It was.
So that was the nice thing. So I'll just take a moment to show the resources that have been linked for you. So if you would, I'm just going to open these up and hopefully it won't take too long to load them. But so here is a file with all of the different badges and levels that we created there for you to use. We also have, as you saw on the previous slide, the Tech Voyage banner. I just created that on Canva for posting outside. When we first started, we just had the different levels and things, and so we're putting them outside the doors. And I said, maybe we need just like a framework so that somebody knows what this is, because you got like matey outside your door and you're going, what in the world is that for? So we created the banner to kind of post the levels around. Then here's the link to keep the score for the digital scoreboard. And that was, I use the free version. I don't like to pay for things. So I use the free version a lot. Picker wheel is what I use to create the spin wheel for the prizes. When I first started doing this, I know Flippity had a great spinner wheel. That was during the time Flippity was broken. I think it's working again. So if you use that, you know, that's a great resource. Picker wheel, it's online as well as I have it right on my phone. So I carry my phone around and they press to spin the wheel. It's really, I mean, seconds to modify. So it's not much time invested there at all. If you missed the list of the badges and what their different meanings are, because we created the badges and I had to go back and like interpret, what was that for? So I created a list and it's here for you. Then another link to the intro video if you'd like to use it. For a lot of our pirate graphics, we used a website called My Cute Graphics. It's free, it's clip art. You can load those images in. And then I'll just show you this. I created this tracking sheet. So it actually has the listing of all the PDs that we did last year. Down here, you've got tabs for the different quarters already set up for you. And then I just put in, you know, the room and the grade level and the teachers' names. This is how I would help myself keep track of who had reached what level and what I would do, and then what PD they had done, because in the LMS in Schoology, I could enter the points, but I couldn't see a detail of like what we had done together. So I might put here, for planning one, I might put the date, and I would say, we collaborated on a breakout room and we did the planning for that. And then over here, okay, now we've done the co-teaching, we've actually presented the lesson for the breakout room. And so I would put it in with no color. And then once I had accomplished it and put it over in the grade book, I turn it green. So that's just for my purposes, how I help to keep track of what everybody had earned. And the same thing with the levels. I'll mark it down like they've earned it. And once I actually go put it outside their door and move it on the physical leaderboard or move their name on the physical leaderboard, that's when I'll highlight it in green, just to keep myself organized. And then finally, this is just a link straight over to Canva. The Canva for EDU is free. If you don't have a membership there, just sign up for that. All of the graphic tools are really fabulous. So that's just a link to Canva for you. So all of those materials are right there. And if you look here on the main page, back in the treasure map, this is how you get to that resources page right here. And it'll take you right over to that resources page for all of your links.
And this might sound like a lot because we're going through this very quickly in the short time that we have, but really, honestly, it's not that much more than we're already doing anyway. You're taking the PD that you would already be doing with your staff, your communication pieces like your newsletters and your emails that you're already doing anyway, and we're just adding a fun element to it. And we tried to simplify that for you guys as much as possible by providing you with the work that our district has already kind of done so that we can continue this and spread this to other places. And in the words of our favorite person from Reading Rainbow, you don't have to take our word for it. I'm going to cross my fingers that hopefully our internet issues here have been fixed at Visti. And hopefully this won't be wonky because this is really beautiful. Please note these are actual teachers not paid by us in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to attempt to let you hear some of what they had to say about the program.
Yeah.
So, my thoughts on the Tech Voyage are it is an amazing way of getting teachers to get out of their comfort zone, try new things in a fun way. I love the competition. We have a lot of PDs, but this makes it feel a little bit more worth it in a fun way. It also gives you an opportunity to maybe check out some things that you wouldn't normally do because you're overwhelmed with some other things. And
TV is more than TV. Tech Voyage is just an amazing tool that has enhanced my students' learning. And I love it. I was never a tech person, even though I am an educator. I know it's something that has been incorporated in the school system, but I love it. I absolutely want to know more and more and more.
Ms. Hunter is absolutely wonderful. We have so much fun, and you give us this fun stuff to do, and it gives us something to look forward to. We've never had anything like this before, and I'm just enjoying it, and I'm getting points, and at the end of the year, I'm going to win something too.
I look forward to spinning the wheel when you come by, and the prizes that I receive. A piece of candy or something that I can use material-wise is very motivating and exciting.
Well, the rewards are phenomenal. We have an amazing IT representative. Ms. Hunter is the bomb. Ms. Hunter comes around, we get a chance to spin the wheel and win prizes for the levels that we accomplish. And I love it. I love being surprised at what I'm going to get and being surprised at what I've leveled up. Yes, I love it.
It's a big impact for the teachers, to the IAs, to the students as well. We get a lot of feedback from the students how their learning is actually is fun.
So the competition between the teachers in the building is extremely fun. We have badges and gems outside our doors, and one teacher in particular that I happen to have to try to beat every single year. It has increased my will to want to involve more technology.
Yes, I feel like it would be a big impact actually, to go ahead and take it to other schools, different districts if so, because like I said, it's an awesome learning tool. It's very fun, it's very educating, and it's different for our kids as well, in a good way though. So yes, I feel like it will be a great impact.
Yes, I believe it could be used at other schools or in other places because it's just so nice, and it's just so, I don't know how to explain it, because like I said, we've never had anything like this before. And so it's exciting to me, and I know that anybody at other schools, they would be happy to have the Tech Voyage project in their place of work.
So as you can see, it really did make a difference for those teachers. And if you had the privilege to hear our keynote speaker yesterday, Wesley, talk about how, we've kind of all lived through that shared pain of the shutdown and the pandemic, and how many teachers do you know personally who feel, overwhelmed, burnt out, stressed, like we just cannot take one more thing. So here's a program to help put that joy back in teaching and maybe help them find their spark again.
Yeah, it is so great to come down the hallways, and they are excited to see me. They do little dances. And I mean, I know when you've walked into your buildings, as I said at the beginning, when you go in and here's another PD, here's another something I have to do, here's another rule I have to follow, here's another and another and another, and we're exhausted. I mean, they're exhausted, and we're trying to support them. And so I really have found the morale impact in my building is phenomenal. They're still exhausted. They're still, the kids are still, I work in a Title I school. Well, we all do. In Portsmouth, it's all Title I schools except one. And so, the behaviors are there, the kids, and the impact on learning that has happened over the past couple of years with virtual learning. I mean, we were virtual then longer than most districts, and we've seen it all. And so the fact that teachers in our buildings that are excited about doing anything, learning anything, the impact of the PDs that they have to go to, that they get a little reward for that. I actually call this PBIS for adults, because we are rewarding adults for what they have to do anyway. We're just kind of making it enjoyable, so they have a little incentive to want to increase their capacity, rather than it becomes more of a I get to rather than a I have to.
Okay, so now I know one of the big things I know for me personally when I go to a PD workshop is I really need some time to digest. So not just to dive in and figure it out, but to really think about some things. So that's what we've tried to build in for you. So in just a moment, we're going to break off. You guys are going to see the breakout rooms pop up on your screen. It is come and go between the rooms as you choose. So in room number 1, we are going to let you go brainstorm. There is a link to a Google Doc. It's a very basic, just kind of template for you. It's going to force a copy, so that way you've got it. It's yours. Do as you wish with it. That is going to let you brainstorm, okay, what's already on my mind? What am I already thinking about for what kind of PD I could offer, or what kind of point system I want to use, that kind of thing. For room number 2, if you'd like to go figure out, well, Pirates is cool and all, seize the day, but what if Pirates isn't for you? Well, we've got a link to a Jamboard where you can dump some ideas. And as you can see, we've already got some different ideas that people have shared. So, maybe you guys don't do Pirates, but maybe sports is a big thing at your school. Maybe if you want to have a sports theme, or the different colored belts in a karate dojo, or your teacher toolbox, or what have you. So there's a template, and that's for everybody. You can leave ideas to inspire others. You can get inspired. Room number 3, if you are itching to go make some badges of your own, we've got a link for you to head on over to Canva. If you're not already using that tool, please take the time to sign yourself up. You will not regret it. And as an educator, you get to use all of their features for free once you verify that you're an educator with them. And then in breakout room number 4, we've got a template for you to go start some gamified PD options. There's a choice board template. All of the pictures that you see there are hot links to either PDs that we have created ourselves or some of our favorites from other places. So there's loads for you to choose from. We're going to let you guys go explore. Unfortunately, we only have about 15 minutes in which to do so. So we're going to give you probably about 10 minutes to go look through those things. Remember, pick whichever PD room you would like to. That's totally up to you. You've got the links for all. We'll be popping in and out of the breakout rooms. If you have questions at any time, please feel free to come back here. And then in about 10 minutes, I'll bring us all back together and we'll share out and wrap up. Okay, so be looking for that link to the breakout rooms. And you should have that now. So please feel free, pop in and out of whichever ones you would like. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat or unmute or whatever.
I know we're still unmuted here. Do we want to go join a room? We could.
All right, so it looks like most people have joined breakout rooms at this point, but if you guys that are still here in the main room have any questions as you're exploring, please feel free to drop those in the chat or unmute yourselves and just ask directly.
I just had a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was just curious because this isn't like a mandatory thing that the teachers have to do or anything like that. About on average, how many folks do you all have participate versus those don't participate? Because I can see some of our folks getting really interested in it, and others maybe not as much.
So it really just depended. I would say at Laura's school, because they're super competitive, she probably has close to 100%.
I definitely, yeah, I have 100%. And because I track everything, I just give people points. So I take the sign-in attendance and I give them points. When we first developed the program last year, and I'm glad you said that, because in some of the schools, they were having their teachers, like they had to turn in something, they had to turn in an assignment. And sometimes, you know, you can do that. Like, I want you to turn in a product. But I take the sign-in sheets. I sort of take the accountability of that, because that's something I take the time to track, so that they don't have it's not another something they have to do. So I have 100% participation, because when they come to a PD session, I'll give them 100 points. Now, if they come to an optional one, that's where the points get higher. Or if they allow me to come co-teach with them, that's when they're even earning more points, because they're allowing me into their room. But, you know, I do rounds every morning. So I like go past every single classroom, greet every teacher. Hey, how you doing? Greeting the students. They know who I am. And so I am invested in my teachers' lives. And, you know, I don't spend long there, but I'm like, hey, what's coming up next week? You know, how's your daughter doing? I know that she was, you know, she had surgery, or so I am getting to know them, and they know I'm invested in their actual lives and that I care about them. And then we do this fun extra thing where I go past the room with a level and I'm like, look at this, you leveled up. Everybody cheer. And, you know, all the students cheer and everything, and the teachers get so excited. So that way it turns from I have to do this, to just, I'm doing it with the staff and I'm just giving them points and they're leveling up, but it encourages them to want to participate and want to be a part of this, because they see the badges and the levels posted outside of the classrooms, and literally they are hollering at one another, whatever she's doing in your room, she needs to be doing in my room. Like, literally, I had two of my more friendly, competitive teachers last year across the hallway from one another. And if I came and put anything outside of one of their doors, they were like, hey, what's going on? Get over here.
You know, and just like you would differentiate with your students, I do the same thing with my staff. My building in particular is one of the more notoriously harder to work in buildings. I have a lot less teacher participation in things. They're I'm here the minute before I have to be and out the door a minute before I should be kind of crew most of the time. So I'm kind of sneaky about how I do that. And in building in the required PDs, I try to make sure that they're structured in such a way that if all you do is the things that the district is going to make you do, for example, my gradebook training at the beginning of the year, any kind of refresher things on whatever tools that the district has purchased, the things I have to train you on that are not optional, you're still going to earn enough points to make it to that first level. And for some of them, that's all it took. For some of them, it was getting sucked in and I'm coming to celebrate your learning, even though maybe you don't want to. And then now all of a sudden, you know what, this is kind of cool. I want to know more. And that got some of them.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Good question.
Thanks, Jay. So for those that are out in the breakout rooms, we're going to pull them back in just a moment.
I shouldn't have my feedback.
Thank you. Oh, but is it?
Well, when somebody unmutes, if they have
Got it.
questions.
Keep me in line here. You know, I'm not tech savvy.
Flashbacks to pandemic teaching, right, guys?
I told you, I don't know why I had this job. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, that was a really good question. Anybody else? Anything you were like burning to know?
It's at the 8-minute mark. Should we give them one more minute or pull them back?
I'm going to pull back in one more minute.
Okay. So we're all going to come back together in about 1 minute. I think definitely that's one of the things that made a difference when we talked about with the competition with the other schools. One of the things that made a difference is I didn't require a lot from my teachers. Like, I mean, when they were participating, I was noticing, you know, when I said, okay, do something off the choice board, and yes, post it in the Google form, or yes, you know, comment or turn it in through Schoology. I think I would, when I did my rounds, I would say, so have you done anything on? And then I would give them credit because they would say, oh yeah, just yesterday. And they may not have sent me the email or put it in the form or however I said, turn it in. And I think that was helpful to go along with what Jay was asking.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring back all of those who chose to go up to a breakout room. So we're going to give them just a minute to head on back.
I think scuttlebutt is so funny.
Pirate vocabulary.
That's right.
Jump on the closing session.
I remember when we were first discussing the different badges or what have you, and we were like, well, what's pirate language? And we're like, yo ho ho. And somebody said, you cannot put that outside somebody's classroom door.
Definitely not at the middle school.
Definitely not at the middle school level, yes. Everybody has that, you know, the teacher that everybody loves, but you're like, nope, they're going to take that one too far, aren't they?
Always, always. All right, so welcome back, everybody who went to a breakout room. I hope you guys, I know it was brief, but I hope you found something that is going to be helpful or useful or inspiring to you. So we wanted to take just a few minutes as we wrap up today. Do you guys have anything that you found that you would like to share, or any other ideas that you think we could implement to improve this? Any resource tips, anything like that? Please feel free to drop your ideas in the chat, or if you'd like to unmute yourself to share, please feel free to do that as well. Okay, so we have a question in the chat. How do we play the pirate game? So by the pirate game, do you mean kind of the whole program? Or was there one specific? Okay, so the PD is something that you would implement with your staff. This is the gamified learning program that we created to use with our staff as we deliver our professional development for the year with them.
So when you saw in the all of these different pieces with the brainstorming, the theme design, the badge creation, the curriculum and PD, we did all of that throughout the year, and we're continuing this year with different things, but we picked the pirate design. So if you would like the pirate design, all of these ideas are linked for you back here when you open this presentation, and it's linked to the Visti into Shed. So it's linked there, and then all of the resources are here for you. I tried to give you, or we tried to give you as much as possible to get you started. Now, if you decide you would like unicorns or fish designs as your different theme, feel free. We went with pirates because we thought that was sort of gender neutral, and you know, a lot of people enjoy pirate things, and
we're also both elementary level, so you know, little kids and pirates can't really go wrong.
True. And so we kind of considered a lot of those different things. What would be a popular thing? What would be easy to make it so, you know, if we did all flowers, then that would appeal to some people, but not others. So anyway, we just went with the pirates, and because they have the treasure map and the treasure boxes and, you know, the loot and things like that. And so we do print out so I have all the badges. I print them, I laminate them, and I I actually went around and I asked teachers at the end of the year, do you want to keep these or recycle? Most of them said I could recycle, so I pulled them off the walls. And then at the beginning of the year, I start with a banner, the Tech Voyage banner outside everybody's door. And then as they earn different badges or levels, I go around and just put a piece of Scotch tape right outside their door and I usually let them know that I'm doing that. And, I personally hand them their certificates and things of that sort.
And the kids get really excited to see their teachers earning stuff too, or to
They
know
do.
that their teacher is the top teacher or has leveled up or whatever. They get really excited about that too.
And if you are a classroom teacher in this session, you could do something like this with your kids, with your students, where you have different levels and celebrating everybody that makes progress. And as I said, because I see it as PBIS for adults, PBIS for students, most of our schools, are using that model of those positive reinforcements for various behaviors. So you could use any of that. You turned in such and such assignment on time. You did your homework. You came to school on time. Any of those things, you helped out a classmate. You can modify this in any form, but and I hope you enjoyed the testimonials because those nearly brought tears to my eyes. I just asked them some questions and they just poured out this beautiful response. I actually had a teacher who came to me and she said, I did not have a chance to give my testimonial and I had things to say. And I was like, it's okay. I appreciate you. But it really has made an awesome impact. And I can see how it would benefit, how it was a benefit when we did it across different schools, even though our school environments are unique and you all will see the same thing in your own divisions. But even in a classroom, like just trying it out with one classroom and to see how those students respond, just like if you use Class Dojo, then, they enjoy getting those points especially if there are rewards associated. Wondering how to start off with the initial board to explore. And so I would start off, if you're starting mid-year, you might do a survey, start off with a first quest, start off with something simple like, here's what we're doing. Please, respond with I'm excited or something like that, and then give them 50 points. Just get them started. If you're starting at the beginning of the year, we start with that teacher survey, and then we give our first PD points for the grade book refresher and intro to your LMS and, all those mandatory meetings. We give some points for attending those.
Yeah. So if you're just starting out, don't feel like you need to start with the options. Even if you just do, like you have this or you have that, you do not have to give them a bunch of choices. You can absolutely just do, hey, this is what we're going to do. And I'm going to start rewarding you for the things that I have to train you on anyway, and then build from there. Okay. So thank you guys so much for joining us here on Virtual Visti today. Are there any last questions before we wrap it up? Yes, and as our Visti host pointed out, yes, absolutely. Please don't forget to come to the closing session today. Oh, sorry, not today, Tuesday. Still on weekend mode, y'all. Tuesday at 2:15. That way you can win some of those prizes. And thank you again for coming. If you would like to reach out or connect with us, please do. You have our email addresses. You have our Twitter handles. Please let us know how it's going or if we can help you in any way. Thank you so much.
Great. Have a great one, everybody.